Hi, you've reached the High Fashion Hotline.
Hi, my family's going to a picnic, but our clothes are stained.
That's quite a pickle.
Ketchup, actually. We want to look amazing.
Go to Old Navy.
Old Navy?
Yep, right now get up to 50% off all tees, all tanks, all shorts, and all dresses at Old Navy and OldNavy.com.
All up to 50% off?
Yes, get tees and tanks from $6 for adults, $5 for kids, and dresses start at $15 for women, $10 for girls.
Hey, everyone. We're going to Old Navy.
High Fashion, Old Navy. Valid 6/21 to 6/27. Excludes clearance jewelry, active, flat tees and tanks, licensed, and men's package tops.
Blog Talk Radio.
From parts unknown come the greatest group in podcast history. Put your hands together for Rob Lowe, Big Q, and I. Now they have one question for you. The kids do dig that sucker!
All right, we're back for another week of wrestling talk. Big Q, Rablo's back, and we got a special guest coming from under the ring. Jazzy Jeff has joined us this week. Talk a little wrestling. Jeff, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, bro. How y'all doing today?
Hey, man, we're doing great. Rablo, you doing all right?
Doing good, man. I missed last week's episode, but I'm excited to be back. So much to talk about. I'm so ready.
All right. Hey, man. We love having you back. And, of course, we got the enforcer Big Q in the house. Big Q's going to start us off with the NXT report for the week.
Yeah. We had a lot of WWE stuff jumped off in the last week or so, man. A lot to talk about, but yeah, as far as NXT is concerned, it's developing pretty good. I don't know if you guys know about this or not. I want to get your guys' take. It's been reported that your boy Triple H and Vince having a little disagreement on the direction of NXT stars once they leave NXT and go up to the main roster. Case in point, Bayley, what they're doing with Nakamura, Sami Zayn. It's just like once they leave NXT, it seems like their aura gets stripped from them. Rob, what you think about that?
I agree. NXT stars, when they're in NXT, they're bigger than life almost. The crowd loves them. When they move over to the main roster, you can definitely tell who knows wrestling because the NXT fans that's in those Raw and SmackDown shows when these superstars make their debuts, it's like, the crowd goes crazy. And then after a few weeks, a few months, it's like they disappear and you forget who they are. We've seen it many of times, like you said, with Bayley, Sami Zayn, even many of the tag teams, Gabio and them. So it is disappointing. I definitely understand. Vince McMahon needs to let go. I'm with Triple H on this one, 100%.
I gotta agree. What's your fellas think?
Jeff, what you think, bro?
I definitely do agree. Just going off of what Rob Lowe did say, in NXT they're completely loved. Everyone wants to cheer them. You can definitely tell, like with Nakamura, everyone used to hum his theme. You could not get the crowd to shut up his theme, and now it's still there, but you can hear it slowly going away. They don't care as much. Bayley, I don't care for Bayley anymore. She's horrible. They made her look like an idiot. Zayn, he's not doing much. He's just floundering around in the mid-card hell, as we say. And Finn, we really don't care about Finn now because he's not doing anything.
Well, yeah, I think there seems to be like a plan on how we're going to introduce them, but they don't seem to have like a 2 or 3 or 6-month plan on how we're going to use them. And I think that's the problem.
So
you have that initial hit.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Q. I'm just saying, why don't they just leave it as is? Like, why you got to go from King of Strong Style Shinsuke Nakamura to the artist known as? You're like, why do you got to do that? That's my question.
I believe they do that now because Vince feels he needs to add a little extra something to a character. And whatever he adds, it just doesn't work. He doesn't let them get over with what made them big in the first place.
It's crazy, man. And then I was thinking about the women's division. So with that first class that graduated, Charlotte and Becky and and Sasha and all of them, they all graduated up, and it seemed like NXT is having a hard time rebuilding the women's division. I mean, there are some standouts. I like Nikki Cross. I like Asuka. I think Asuka's maybe a little bit too big for NXT, but she's there. There's a few of them, Ember Moon. But I don't know. It just seemed like this class is so much different than the previous class. What you guys think?
Yeah, I could see that. I guess with the previous class, I don't like to judge them, but because with that previous class you referred to, I mean, you're basically talking about the standard bearers for the most part in the main rosters, and they came in basically and became the standard bearers pretty much right away and got the focus on them. So it's almost unfair. It's almost like trying to compare these ladies to a class of Hall of Famers. It's just, I think that initial class may be, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we're going to look back at that as like, wow, can't believe that group, came up together kind of thing. So, try not to get too wrapped up in comparisons because then you start to lose appreciation, I think, for what you got right now.
I guess I can see that. The last thing I had was, and I may be wrong about this, y'all had to check me on it, but I think every tag team that came up from NXT has been a failure to this point. I think Ascension, I think American Alpha, I think Dash and Dawson. I think every tag team I can think of that came up has not panned out.
Yeah. I guess American Alpha had a little run, had a little.
This is one of my biggest pet peeves with it was with like the whole Enzo and Cash never winning the tag team titles. American Alpha, they did have that run, but Enzo and Cash had ton of potential. Even when they did move up to the main roster, WWE seemed like they was pushing them, and the crowd was 100% behind them. When I went out to the wrestling event with Jeff, the whole crowd loved them. So I think they, in my opinion, will have to be the most disappointing tag team to move up and not get the gold.
Well, what I would say with that is Enzo and Cass did fail, but the major reason they failed was because they were brought up in the middle of the New Day's reign, and WWE, they wanted to get rid of Demolition. They wanted the New Day to stay on top, so they were just brought up at the wrong time. We can't say that the Revival have been a complete failure just because they came up and they did start doing something right away, but it was unfortunate that Dash got injured. So once Dash got injured, they had to be taken off TV. American Alpha, they were brought up, but they were pushed too fast. You didn't give them a chance to really show who is American Alpha, what is their character, what can they do. They just, hey, here's American Alpha, we're going to throw the titles on real quick, and no one could get adjusted to them yet. It's just like, as much as we do love NXT, forget, NXT is for the hardcore fans. It's not for the casuals out there. So once you just get them out there and throw them like that, the casuals are going to be like, well, we don't know these people. Why do they get the titles so fast? What about this team? What about that team?
Yeah, I just think, I thought it was interesting that, Triple H definitely was, well, according to reports, we don't know for sure, but, that he was a little bit upset with the way his talent, because if you look at the main roster, it's what is it now, about 80% NXT people on there now? Is that right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, because I keep forgetting, like, guys like Samoa Joe came from NXT, right? But, they were big names before they got there, so I have to remember guys like that. Yeah, it does seem like a high percentage, at least the ones that get TV time, definitely.
Yeah, so someone's got a thing going, and I don't know, I kind of feel bad for him. I hope something happens. I want NXT, I want to see the NXT people go up and be who they were in NXT. You know what I mean? And I think that would make it so much better.
I got you, but this is how I look at it. Is to me, I think NXT is like and I hate to use this. I guess I'll use this analogy because the draft is on. I think NXT is like college basketball, and the main roster is like pro basketball. And so, you come up, and there'll be a couple guys who can, step in and be stars, but most of them are going to have to be role players for a while before they can grow into being a star.
And normally I would agree with that, except the fact that the product is, and this is my opinion, and a lot of people agree with me on this, but the product is just better. I know it's different because you have different things you're going for. Like Raw is the advertising powerhouse, and SmackDown is your wrestling showcase. I don't know, but NXT just seemed like the more intimate crowd, the people respond to the performance a lot better. People get over a lot easier, and then they just take it all away. It's weird to me.
I agree. I think it's because it's less PG. It almost feels like 90s styles wrestling when those guys used to just wrestle. The matches that they put on, the environment. I think what makes NXT is the crowd. The crowd in NXT. If we had those type of crowds on SmackDown and on Raw, we would get much better product. Unfortunately, we don't because a lot of casual fans only know about Raw and SmackDown. If NXT was advertised a little bit better, I think if it was pushed onto like a USA Network, I think it will be a lot better than Raw and SmackDown. And I do agree, the product is much better. It's just not advertised as it should be.
Well, and I mean, you got some good points there. And also, I think with NXT, and I don't watch every week, but what I feel, and to Ravelo's point, it feels sort of old school. I think the wrestlers are given a little more freedom to try things because they're trying to find something that's going to work for them and carry them through. And so I think it feels a little more organic, whereas Raw particularly feels sometimes overly polished, and the wrestlers don't feel like they're being amped up versions of themselves most of the time, which, most wrestlers or old school wrestlers will tell you they were successful because they were just basically playing an amped up version of themselves. Whereas I don't see that on Raw and SmackDown that much now. But all right, so let's move on to Money in the Bank, the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. Start out with the exciting match of the Hype Bros returning to face the Cologne. Man, I see why you guys love SmackDown so much when you got
Come on, man.
Hype
Look,
Bros and the Cologne.
This was a misstep.
I got to get Jeff on my Raw team. Jeff,
listen,
are you Team Raw or Team SmackDown?
So here's the thing: you can't get me to Team Raw. And what I would say about this is about SmackDown for the past couple months, ever since I would say after Mania, it feels like they've been dumbing down SmackDown so that Raw can get better ratings.
Yes, it was. I'm telling you, when they stole all the stars from SmackDown and put them on Raw, it was blatant what they were trying to do. SmackDown was killing it, and they was like, no, we need Raw to be killing it because that's where we sell all our stuff at, and that's why they stole all the people from them. It's terrible.
I agree because I personally love SmackDown, but since Mania, it seems like SmackDown just doesn't care. They're not giving people the opportunity they used to. The matches seem bland, and it seems like they're trying to push Raw and give Raw all the star power, and it sucks because SmackDown was SmackDown. SmackDown was killing it.
Well, the fact is, with SmackDown, you could definitely tell the difference between the creative teams because SmackDown, you could tell their creative team, they were hungry. They was like, everyone's talking about how SmackDown's going to be crap because they got no one. And then the writers and the wrestlers themselves just said, you know what, we're going to prove them wrong. We're going to show that we're a better show than Raw. We have a couple of superstars. Let's use them to the best way that we can so that we can create someone that we care about.
Let me give you a prime example of what you just said, how true that is, right? So we seen them do Miz and Ambrose on SmackDown. It was awesome. Now they're doing Miz and Ambrose on Raw with teddy bears and big. It's so ridiculous and over the top that I can't. It's unwatchable. So so to your point, you're absolutely right. The writing teams are completely different. We've seen them use the same two people on two different shows, and it's completely different.
And then what happened to Bray Wyatt? They completely destroyed Bray Wyatt. you actually care about Bray Wyatt. He finally got the title. You know, he was moving on to bigger and better things. He was finally getting the push that we've been wanting him to get. And, you know, unfortunately, they kind of gave him that horrible feud with Randy Orton. But again, that comes from Vince telling the people at SmackDown, hey, we need you to dumb this down because the WWE Championship match cannot be better than the Universal title match because we're trying to get that title over, and we have to push our part-timers. We have to let them know that the part-timers is the only thing we don't care about.
Right.
We don't care about our actual talent.
It would be great if we could see the title on TV from time to time. I mean, that would help a little bit.
I mean, they showed in those highlight packages. I mean, what do you want, Big Q? Come on.
I mean, we want to see the belt on TV. Like, no, Brock does not have to be there every week, but disappearing for 1 to 2 months and then coming back for one of the big fours, yes, I get that Brock is special. At the same time, you know, great examples of this is the whole, if you don't defend the title in 30 days, then you have to vacate it. Naomi was injured for like a couple weeks, and she came back a lot earlier than what they expected. They made her vacate the title. Jericho didn't even defend the United States title for months at a time, and he never had to vacate it. And now Brock's is just disappearing and not coming back except whenever he wants to until it's time to get a paycheck, and the title's not stripped from him.
Yeah. I mean, obviously in kayfabe, right, the rules don't align very well. But let's be careful what we wish for because I guarantee you after WrestleMania, when Roman Reigns is the champ and he's starting the show every week, people are going to be pissed off about Roman Reigns coming out with the belt every week.
That's another thing about Raw that I don't understand, right? Like, okay, so you know that ain't going to work. So why do it? You know they're going to do it. You know they're going to do it. You got plenty of capable people like Joe. We talked about Joe a couple weeks ago, and during that Fatal 5-Way stuff, I was telling y'all Joe was the best way to go, right? And you saw what happened. You know? I mean, come on.
Yeah. And I'm glad they made Joe look vicious. You know, the attack on Paul Heyman, all that good stuff. But, you know, I'm sorry. We've gotten off track. We're supposed to be talking Money in the Bank. So let's go back to Money in the Bank. And, you know, now that I know it's 3 against 1 with this step down versus Monday Night Raw.
So you can't win, right? So let's just be clear.
Well, I know that, you know, the hate is real. And, you know, it's funny y'all say you lost all the stars when, you know, you got the New Day. Who sells more products than the New Day? You got AJ Styles, you know. You got John Cena. Or I guess had John Cena.
We don't have John Cena exclusively anymore.
That's true. Right.
Right, because Raw need all the help they can get.
My thing is, imagine if SmackDown had Finn. Imagine if SmackDown even had Roman Reigns or Samoa Joe. My goodness.
You got the hype bros.
Yeah.
You got the colognes. you got
you know what? You laughing though. You laughing though, right? No, listen. You laughing, you joking about it, but look at what SmackDown is doing with a Tamina. She would be buried by now on Raw. Look at what SmackDown is doing with the fashion popo. They'd have been buried on Raw. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you laughing
that's
like
true.
it's a joke, but
that's true. Now that is true, and you know my favorite wrestler right now, Jinder Mahal. You know, it definitely turned him into a star. Even though I know a lot of people hate him, but that's kind of what I like about him is that you know he's kind of came out of nowhere.
He's the only person that you actually hate right now. I mean, he's a heel that you hate, which is something that's been lost for years at this point.
Right. Well, you had Charlotte, but then they turned her face. You know, which didn't make sense.
Right now, that's not a good look. But I'm gonna tell you this though, I do see some type of turn coming with Mojo and old boy. I don't know exactly which one gonna turn, but this is weird the way they put it together. Yeah,
it's going to be Ryder. Ryder is going to be the one that turns because I can see it now. It's going to be a whole jealousy angle. You know, you went off and you were doing big things while I was off on the shelf getting injured. There wouldn't be a you without me. You know, we would never had that title shot if I wouldn't have saved the day. You were like one of the first persons eliminated. Like I see that's where they're going because WWE is completely predictable.
It is. So you think this will go down super soon? Like, don't they got some kind of special match next week or something like that?
Yes, they have a match next week against the Usos, a non-title match, and if they win, then they get a title opportunity.
Okay. All right.
Which that leaves the question: what are they going to do about the New Day feud?
Well, I don't think New Day, and I think one of you guys mentioned this last week, or Big Q, I think you mentioned New Day really need the belts, right? Like they're kind of their own thing. Crowd still pops when they, play the music and all that stuff. So,
I think New Day's main reason for coming to SmackDown is to help out some of the tag teams there, like Fashion Files and and like the Cologne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think when the Usos lose it, it's gonna be at like SummerSlam. It's gonna be at one of the bigger pay-per-views when they lose it. I don't think it'll be like on TV. But let's get to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view here. Sorry. We had let's start with the ladies. What did you guys think about the finish with Ellsworth and Carmella?
Really though.
Can I please go first?
Please
testify.
Yes, go ahead.
Please. All right. So, oh my goodness, why? Why did this happen? I am at a loss of words, honestly. I just don't understand.
Wait. No, but SmackDown doesn't make mistakes. So how you should be, this is
But
the greatest
they made
thing,
one
right?
here. They definitely made one here. This right here was terrible.
I've never been so disappointed. I was excited as a fan to see the women division be lifted that high to get in a match of that level, that type of match. One of those matches that felt like Lita versus Trisha or something, to that latitude that was going to be great, that seemed to be great, that had the excitement in the air, and then you finish with that.
I agree. I definitely agree. I felt disrespected. And I felt disrespected, and I'm not even one of the women in that match. If you look at the match, let's just take the finish out of it for a second. Them women went out there, and I was afraid they weren't going to be able to deliver, but they did. And if you're one of them women and you got that finish, how do you feel? You know what I mean? That's terrible.
Well, again, what I will tell you, I would explain to you why, Rich. I will answer your question why. Because once again, SmackDown needs to be dumbed down for Raw's coming up pay-per-view. Also, you must not forget that the SmackDown women also have to look bad compared to the Raw women. So, what's the best way to screw them out of this big, special, history-making event? Let's have a man win the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match for another woman.
You know what?
And the worst thing is,
I would agree with that if it wasn't the first one. If they had did this next year or the second or the third one, I would be fine. You can't do this. You can't do this in the first one.
Look at it this way. By doing what they did, they allowed SmackDown. A lot of the show is focused around the controversy of the finish, right? And so this is going to be an ongoing storyline. So it puts more focus on the women and stretches this out. You know what I mean? They're going to get more camera time and more talking time because of the finish.
It's a storyline that shouldn't exist because James Ellsworth, why is he still in the WWE? Why?
Listen, Rablo, this one piss you off even more. This is going to piss you off even more. So you have a pay-per-view that you had to be a subscriber to the network to see a huge, historic, first time ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match, right? Had to pay to see this. Now, because of the stupid finish they decided to do and the disrespect they paid to the women before and now and in the future, now they're giving the same match away for free. And I guarantee you the same person going to win.
Well, the thing about it is they made the right decision with the person to win. Carmella definitely should have been the one to win because she was the underdog and she was the person that was going to get the most heat for it. Now, James Ellsworth should not have been the one to pull the briefcase down. If anything, what they should have did was they should have let Ellsworth pull someone down, and they should have let the women gang up and beat Ellsworth to death with a ladder.
Nice.
And, while they're doing that, with that distraction, that could allow Carmella to win.
Which
But,
I agree
instead,
because Carmella, she is talented. She definitely deserves it. And how about, is this not a slap in the face to her for how hard she works for her first opportunity to be
think,
like
right?
this?
You would think, but she co-signing the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's a weird
she
dynamic.
is. Which, she's co-signing, but at least she's playing it off well. Like, this is kind of Carmella's first real promo, but I would say it was a great promo. Completely, I don't care about making history. I don't care about this and that. What I care about is getting my name big because I was the very last draft pick of the draft last year. I don't care about you. I don't care about this. I don't care about the little kids. I just want to make my name big, and I want to be, number
I
one.
agree with that. I just don't think that this was the time to do that. Like I said, I'm all about a screwy, dusty finish. In fact, I'm a fan of the heels. I like heels. You know what I mean? I don't care what they do. Just don't have a man bring the thing down.
I think it's the way to get the most people talking about it. Because, like, what's their goal? Their goal isn't to make you happy. It's to make you react, right? And so, I understand the logic of it was the first one, so let's see, So I think they knew people would be pissed off. But it shows you, to me, the growth of the women's division, because 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we wouldn't have cared, right? Who won or how they won, you know what I'm saying? But also the level of athletes, back then wasn't quite the same as you have now either. So let's go on to the men's Money in the Bank match, which we actually predicted correctly.
Yeah, we did.
Week.
And you
predicted both correctly.
Actually, you know what? I hit a home run at Money in the Bank. I hit a home run.
Right.
For real. Except for that surprise match with the Fashion Popo and the Ascension. I didn't know that was gonna happen. It wasn't scheduled. So.
Well, yeah, but we didn't pick that one. But so okay, all right. So what do you guys think about the men's result with Money in the Bank? With Baron Corbin going over.
Hey, listen, I'm all about that
names.
Baron Corbin winning. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was like, just thinking about it when they were announcing the people who was going to be in it, I was like, look, Corbin is my dude. Look, we talked about this, and I actually wanted Baron Corbin to come up during WrestleMania, but unfortunately they kind of squashed him, at WrestleMania. But he's the right guy, and he proved it on SmackDown. Like, he's the guy you do not want to hear his music playing if you're the champion. You out there in that ring, he's not the guy. You don't want to see him coming down that ramp with that bridge.
Right. Well,
I'm
we know
okay for it. I'm okay for it, but as you guys know, I still don't like Corbin. I don't like the way he talks on the mic. I just hate it. Absolutely hate it. It makes me cringe. And you give him a speaker, you give him a Paul Heyman, somebody who could talk for him, I'm 100% for it. Let him be quiet because he is a great wrestler in the ring. I like the way he presents himself when he walks the ring. He does have that demeanor, that scary attitude about him. I do like that. I'm just iffy about his mic skills because when he talks, I cringe. But if you give him somebody who could talk for him, I'm 100% behind it.
I like Corbin. I am glad that he won. I feel there's only two things that Corbin needs to work on. The first thing is he needs to stop swaying in all of his promos. Like, it's really stupid how he does that. Another thing is he needs to put more anger in his voice for his promos. There's nothing wrong with him. It's just he sounds like a lost puppy sometimes. What he needs to sound angry. He needs to, cuss someone out. Like when he's attacking people and he's yelling at them. That's what he needs to do.
I agree with that. I think as far as him working on his character, it can use a little bit of tweaking. You know what I mean? But personally, I don't think it's that bad. He sounds like a douche, he's the dude that he's gonna say something stupid and you want to slap him or whatever. And it ain't that bad to me. You know what I mean? It needs work, yes, but it ain't the end of the world. I think it's all right.
Yeah, I think not everybody needs to talk and have mics. I think he's definitely one of the guys that. I think his promos should be just interrupting other people's promos and beating them up. You know what I mean? Or that should be his promo. especially now he has the briefcase, just randomly attack Jinder when he's doing an interview or something with the briefcase and, stare at the camera and then walk out or something.
By the time we cash that briefcase in, it's going to be all bended up and stuff. But let me bring this to you guys' attention.
Yeah.
What about that Nakamura AJ Styles moment, though? Wasn't that now? That was the best part of the match to me.
That was the best thing of the night. That was the greatest thing entire night. Just the fact that both of them were getting ready to climb that ladder, and they just see each other through the rungs. And it's no words, no, you ready for this? No, it's just straight lock eyes, get the ladder out of the way, it's go time. Let's, do this thing, and let's get the crowd go crazy. And it got them to go crazy. So
it did. And IG was looking for a reason to cheer Nakamura. You want to know what the fuss was about? That's what the fuss was about. Because actually, that performance was the best I've seen him look since he graduated.
Yeah, I'm starting to warm up to him. I think all the expectations, all the hype, kind of had me expecting something different. Not expecting more, just expecting something different than what I got with him. And I understand part of it has to do with who he has to wrestle and things like that. But I'm starting to get into him, just enjoying what I'm seeing and not comparing it to what I expected before. All right, so let's go.
Another thing they're doing to him is they're dumbing his arsenal down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely did that. Like, ain't nothing really. Like, he got like maybe one or two strong style moves, and that's it. I'm so glad they didn't make him change his finisher though, because that would have just been a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Big Q's been complaining about that since he debuted. That they're not letting him do his thing. All right, so let me ask you guys overall. With Money in the Bank, what were your thoughts about the pay-per-view?
Two minutes free finishes back to back. Not a fan of that. You could have spaced that out. The women's championship match, it was uncalled for. Even though I did think it was a bit entertaining just to see Lana work her way in there. But her having all these title matches and ain't never done nothing to prove herself, that don't make no sense. But your boys, they runish, because that's all they do now. It ain't day one-ish, it's day run-ish. Like,
Day one is G.
Yeah, but all in all, it was an all right pay-per-view. It was a lot of things that happened that just had people feeling a certain type of way, especially at the very, very beginning of the show. And luckily they redeemed themselves at the end, and I think that's cool. So.
Yeah,
I
like the pay-per-view personally. I think it could have been better. The finishes was a little iffy. Still hate the fact that Jinder Mahal is champion, but it is what it is, I guess. It was iffy. It wasn't a SmackDown pay-per-view that I was expecting. It was better than a Raw episode, I can tell you that.
Honestly, it felt like a Raw pay-per-view.
Right.
I want to be really honest. It didn't feel like a SmackDown pay-per-view. It felt like Raw.
But Rappo, let me ask you this. I know you feel a certain type of way about Jinder Mahal, right? And listen, the way they booking him, in this heelish manner where he ain't never win a match on his own, and all that kind of stuff. You know what? That's classic heel booking, in my opinion. I like that. You know what I mean? Even if you don't like the guy, the way they present him, they're not present him like he a smasher, he's a world beater and all. They're not present him like AJ Styles. He's a champion, yeah, but not because he's good. It's because he got a crew that's helping him out.
Don't get me wrong.
Kind of like when
it's good booking. It's good booking, and it works because he is a heel. But we saw the match. The guy ran out of breath as soon as it started. He's not a good wrestler by any means. The way he wins these matches also is a question mark to me. I just don't think he was ready, and I don't think he should have been pushed that high so quickly. It's kind of weird almost to the point that he was just jobbing on Raw, come to SmackDown, and now he's champion, and the fact that he's being a 14-time champion like Randy Orton. But it's Randy Orton, and it's Jinder Mahal, and Jinder Mahal is not a good wrestler, and his mic skills aren't good either. I don't believe when he looks so serious into the ring and say "wonga wonga." I know,
right? We talked about that last week. We talked about his promo last week, but the timing was great. They prepping for this India tour. you know, and they're like, hey, let's bring old boy back, and you know what I mean. I mean, it's just timing, and they're just trying to make as much money as they can with this tour. And like we talked about last week, Impact Wrestling went over there for 2 weeks, man, and I mean they turned the place out. So you can only imagine when the big boys go into town.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I wish I had the audio of the Indian announce team when Jinder won the belt. I mean, it was like
that was hilarious.
We
are number one. We are number
yeah.
one.
Yeah, they start chanting.
But trust and believe, after they come back from India, we'll go back to our regular scheduled programming after that. Believe that.
It definitely will be going back to normal.
Well, but also, I
think
there's something. I think.
I'm sorry. I'll say everything going back to the status quo time will be horrible, because then that's a waste of a championship reign. And the fact is, you made him a superstar, and then you just going to send him back to jobbing. So that just defiles the title.
He's not a superstar. Bray Wyatt was a superstar. Jinder Mahal is not a superstar. He should not have the belt. Since he's had the belt, I have not been interested in that little rivalry whatsoever. Those promos have been terrible. What Bray and Randy Orton had was special. You go to something so special what Bray and Randy Orton had to something like Jinder versus Randy. Give that belt to Kevin Owens. Give that belt to AJ Styles. Give that belt to somebody. Give that belt to Ziggler. That belt does not need to be on Randy Orton. Doesn't need to be on Jinder.
Think about this.
The promos are not that good, but the visuals are awesome, though. You can't deny that.
Oh, no doubt. Especially just the way he's built. I mean, but think about this.
Jinder
not only is his title reign is doing a few things. It's creating somebody that we can just hate, either because of what he's saying about his country, or because we don't feel like he deserves to be there, or whatever. But it's also setting up whoever's gonna be that person to chase and win it. Right? Is it going to be Nakamura or whoever? Like, if you have Jinder with a 6-month title reign where people just really start to hate him, then once he loses to Nakamura or AJ Styles or whatever, it's going to be a bigger moment. You know what I mean? That's where I think they're trying to go with this thing.
Rob, you ain't got that much longer to wait, man. It's going to be over soon. It's going to be over.
Yeah, my thing with it, though, is Big Q. Just hear me out on this one, man. You can't tell me Rusev would have made a better heel if you want to do the Against America thing.
Yes, absolutely. Because, number one, he got more experience. He got more personality. He's better in the ring. I mean, he checked all the boxes. You're absolutely right. But because we got this India thing coming up, this makes more sense.
Rusev, I think Rusev's come back from injury. That's why he hadn't been back yet.
The thing with Rusev is, Rusev, he's a heel, but at this point, he's a face because everyone loves Rusev now. What they have made is, like Big Q said, they've made someone you can hate. Like, you don't want to see him on TV. You absolutely hate him. You despise him. And that's what you need for a heel champion.
Yeah. My thing is, though, I don't hate Jinder because what he's saying or how he's wrestling or the fact that he has a belt. I hate Jinder because he's boring to me. I look at it like this.
You're waiting for him to lose. You're waiting for him to get beat.
Yeah, but I look at it like this. We went from having Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. We went from basically having Cinnamon Toast Crunch with some pancakes, some eggs, some bacon, and we went all the way down to grits.
Well, I don't know now. Hold up. Pump your brakes a little bit. That Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, the finish to that wasn't all that spectacular. Now, come on now. The
WrestleMania match beyond was terrible. Don't get me wrong. It was terrible. Like we know Conor McGregor and Floyd will be terrible. But the promos was amazing. The promos between Jinder and Randy Orton are not.
Yeah, it's not a natural.
Randy's not good at being a face. They don't mesh They don't mesh at all. Randy's horrible as a face. He's very boring as a face. He's boring as a heel, but he's not as boring.
Can we
Was that the only person that found ironic that all the legends were with Randy Orton when he made his name as the Legend Killer. You know what I mean? Like, we forget about that.
They kind of glossed over that fact a little bit. You know what I mean?
Didn't he literally kick a couple of them in the head? I know he kicked Flair in the head. He kicked Slaughter in the head.
Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter.
He kicked a couple other people in the head too.
Oh yeah, you
Stephanie, Triple H, yeah.
I just don't understand why the WWE hasn't pushed the rewind button, or like, do Randy Orton have some type of leverage? I mean, this was a mistake after he won Royal Rumble. Why is he still even in the main event picture?
I'm telling you, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna tell you what they need to do with Randy Orton. You know, what they need to do with Randy Orton is, you're right. They need to press the rewind, but they need to get rid of this voices in my head gimmick that he got. Go back to the other stuff that he used to do. And when he was just running,
kick people in the head again.
Yes, absolutely. You know,
I'm dying to see someone get putted in the head. Like, every time they fake it out, I absolutely hate it, because I'm like, please kick someone in the head. Just do it. I need that back in my life. I need to see Randy Orton just going around kicking everyone, their brother, their sister, their mother,
because
father.
they don't turn the RKO into a meme. So, you know, like, the RKO ain't nothing but a meme now. You know what I mean? And it don't really have the same kind of punch that it used to have.
RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah, I get that, but I think on SmackDown, your best guys don't need the belt. Nakamura, AJ Styles, you know.
I don't know. I think Nakamura probably gonna need the belt. I think AJ Styles don't necessarily need it as much as other people do, but he actually does a really good job as champion. You know, somebody like Sami Zayn needs to run here pretty soon. I mean, like, really soon, or, you know, you might as well take him off TV forever.
You mean run out of the company, or run?
No, he need to run with something. You know what I mean? Like, they need to do something with this dude, man.
My thing, and I'm happy you said that, Big Q. I am surprised, because I know you're not a Sami Zayn fan. So thank you, because you know I am.
I'm not a fan.
I am so shocked.
I'm not a fan. I just don't want to see him.
What did I miss last week?
I don't want to see him get buried. You know what I mean? I'm still not a fan. I'm just saying, people like him and Natalya, they've done so much that they definitely deserve a run. I ain't saying it's going to be awesome and I'm looking forward to it, but he need it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
you guys
that.
are probably gonna hate me for this. But can we just put Kevin Owens as a champion and give him and Sami Zayn some rivalry again? Because me personally, I think those are some of the best promos and definitely some of the best matches the WWE has ever seen. Them dudes have wrestled
each other on WWE TV a million times, and I know they done wrestled each other outside of the WWE a billion times. I say no. I mean, but the belt on KO, yes. Him facing off against El Generico again? No, I don't think so.
Well, they need to let it cool down, because the simple fact is we got it all last year. So just bring it here and put it on SmackDown, where we know it's going to be a million times better. It still needs to calm down. Save that for next year, not this year. Instead, what I feel like they're building up to is that good old country boy AJ Styles is going to take the title off of Mahal, and Styles is going to hold it till Mania, where it's going to be Nakamura versus Styles for the WWE Championship.
And I know the WWE can't stand it, but AJ Styles is as advertised. I mean, like, they can say what they want to say about John Cena. I mean, I think since AJ Styles a rival, I think, in my personal opinion, I think he didn't eclipse John Cena. I think AJ is the man.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's a reason they were comfortable putting AJ Styles on SmackDown, because they knew Cena was going to go off and do some shows and stuff, and they knew he would carry the load. And I think he's exceeded WWE's expectation. I think they signed him to be high mid-card guy, and I think he's just blown their expectations away to where they couldn't deny him.
I just want to say for the record, if John Cena doesn't come back heel with a lock chain, I'm going to RKO somebody. I do not want Mr. America. You can
just
do it. You can respect John Cena.
Just figure
John
out
Cena will never go back
through.
to rapping and having chains and
attacking
right. people from behind. Cena's never going to go heel, just like Roman Reigns is never going to go heel. It's not going to happen.
Well, and I think not the traditional heel, but to me, those two guys are the biggest heels, because, you know what I mean? Like, and Roman Reigns is pretty much acting like a heel. Just he wrestles
He
the
is.
other
He's a
heels.
cocky
You know what I
prick.
mean? Right. And so I think as long as you can have that where the
I think
adult
if people
fans hate him.
if people want to pay to see you get beat, if people want to pay to see you get beat down by Braun Strowman every day of the week, then you're a heel, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
But
Right.
can we
You're
take a
a
moment
heel.
What I would say is
Can
that
we just-
promo that Reigns cut on Monday, that was a heel promo. That was a
Can we just-
whiny, delusional heel promo.
Can we
Oh,
just
yeah.
take a moment of silence to thank Braun Strowman? Can we take a moment of silence to thank
Yes.
him?
Hey, Braun
Thank God for Braun
Braun is not finished with Reigns. He's not. Okay.
You know what I love about Braun Strowman is that after he wrestles, he goes on Twitter and trolls everybody about it. I love Braun Strowman.
I have to look
I didn't
for that.
think I
Okay.
would.
Braun Strowman at this point, he is the biggest face of the WWE. He is the most popular face in WWE because of what he's doing to Reigns. No one.
And ain't that crazy? And his nickname is the Monster Among Men, and he the biggest face in the company. That's crazy.
Yes. The moment everyone saw that hospital, the moment that this man stepped out and yelled, "Braun!" You hear the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd did it with him. They were excited. The fact that when they saw Roman Reigns' faces drop, and the fact that I love that face down choke slam that Braun does too. Oh my God! When he did that, the crowd was just overjoyed. They absolutely loved it. I want to see more of Braun not being finished with Reigns. I want this to continue for the rest of the year. I just want Strowman.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
destroying
They can
Roman.
fight all the way into
Flip the coin.
WrestleMania. I don't care.
I don't care.
Quick question for you guys. What is better, Braun Strowman saying he's not finished with you, or AJ Styles and the Bad Boy and the Club saying beating up John Cena? Which one?
Oh my God,
I'm
that's
not
a tough
finished with
one.
you.
I don't know, man.
I gotta go with AJ Styles.
I like AJ Styles too, but I feel like I'm not finished because it's so funny when he deliver it. You know what I'm saying? But,
Especially when he just comes out of no, I'm not finished with him yet, and just slings Reigns. That's the greatest thing ever. It was
but beating
hilarious.
John Cena is pretty good too, though. You know what I mean? It's pretty good.
Yeah,
you know?
because it has it's like they know it's hokey. You know what I mean? They play it up. You know. All right, so let's go to Raw.
From Broski.
What highlights did you guys get from Raw, other than Bo Dallas's new beard?
I like Bo Dallas's new beard, but let's talk about the Cass Enzo deal real quick, because we talked about it last week, and we figured it was gonna. See, I think we had it twisted because I think we were talking about how Enzo would have been the heel.
Enzo would be a great heel, exactly, and
Cass would have been the face. So, okay. So the way it played out with Corey Graves and all that, what y'all think about the way they actually revealed it?
That was hokey. It was very hokey. It's just random, like, I just got this video of Cass kicking a trash can over and laying down.
Which, by the way, he had that video for, I don't know, like 2 weeks, right? He don't have that tape for quite a while.
Right. So I'm like, wait, you guys could not have reviewed the cameras before? Like, it's an arena. Certainly you got the security guards up there reviewing the cameras every second. Certainly you had some security guards looking at the footage while it was happening.
Right.
As soon as this happened, I tweeted it. I tweeted out. I quoted WWE and I said, "This is very disappointing because we never got to see these guys win a title." However, can we just acknowledge Big Cass for actually delivering some really good mic skills, and for Enzo making us believe how real it was?
It was it was amazing. Look,
I was
Cass's promo was like, normally he's all robotic and super scripted. That was crazy. I couldn't believe that was him.
It came from the heart. It came from the heart. Now, my only question about this is, how is this going to work? Because Enzo's going to get squashed, and it looks like Enzo is more concerned about fighting Conor McGregor than he is Big Cass.
So the way I think
it just looks like Cass will just help. Not Cass. Enzo will help Cass just go into his single situation. I think they'll have like a match, maybe two. Enzo will call in people to help him out, stuff like that, and it'll be over.
Yeah, it's gonna somehow go to Big Cass versus Big Show, right? It's got to be where this is going. Because why else would Big Show be involved last week?
Well, another thing is, what are they going to do with the both of them after this feud is over? Because the main event scene is already overflowed what it is. Cass is not getting his hands on the Intercontinental Championship anytime soon. Enzo, he can go down to the cruiserweight condition.
You don't think Cass and Miz would be a good feud? I think that would be amazing.
No. Well, because my thing is, Miz is the heel, and Cass is a heel. It's just not going to happen. And Cass,
I think Cass go into the title picture. I think he goes into I think that's what they're building up to. They're gonna make Cass into what Corbin is on SmackDown, but better, because Cass can talk better than Corbin can. That's what I
don't see how you pair in that division with Joe and Brock and Reigns, and that's a tough
one.
Well,
let's not forget that Big Cass was in. Remind me, it was either a Fatal 4-Way match or some type of contender match to be in that title picture hunt.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
I mean, I can see because I think we're eating up time. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm saying I think we're eating up time to get to some sort of big Braun Roman showdown, maybe at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. And so I can see them taking a break from each other, and maybe you have Big Cass and Braun, two big guys, or maybe they tag team for a couple months. It's going to be, I think somehow Big Cass is going to help eat up some time for Braun until this whole Roman Reigns thing come to a culmination around WrestleMania.
Well, the thing with Reigns is apparently, because he's supposed to be the number one contender now. So if I wonder how it's going to work if he loses the match, which we all know he's not. But Reigns is the number one contender. We know Joe's not going to win at Great Balls of Fire, so it looks like they're giving Reigns the title early just so they can go ahead and get it over with. Because it seems like they're trying to plan something different for Mania.
No, I think I disagree. I think Samoa Joe's going to win that title. I think Brock Lesnar loses it.
I do too. I think they saw after what happened on last week's Monday Night Raw, this might be something they can stretch out a little bit.
They could definitely work with this. I think Samoa Joe is going to win that title, and it's going to be Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. They're going to continue it. I think we get Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, and then as far as Finn and Seth Rollins and Bray, they're going to have to figure something out with them guys, probably involve Miz and Dean Ambrose and mix it up a little bit. But I think those matches are pretty much set.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right. Let's see what else we got going on Raw. That was major. The Roman Reigns Samoa Joe match, that was pretty entertaining, I thought. Hard hitting. Got to see Roman Reigns take a loss. That's not very common in these days. What we guys thoughts about that big match this week?
It was good, and then we got an extra bonus beatdown at the end from Braun Strowman, which was icing on the cake.
I'm still surprised at the fact that Samoa Joe is 2-0 against Reigns.
Yeah, and I'm sure somehow that'll come back as once Reigns or maybe Samoa Joe goes over Brock. And Samoa Joe's the monster, and Reigns has to chase till WrestleMania, and it's funny because, they're even acknowledging, the other Samoans don't consider Samoa Joe Samoan, you know what I mean?
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And the fact that Roman Reigns was like some guy named Joe when actually that's his name is Joey. So, you know what I mean? I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a great point. I forgot about that. Because Samoa Joe is like the one Samoan who's not related to any of the others. Samoan wrestlers. Yeah.
You wanted a Samoan named Joe? Damn it! I gave you one. His name is Joe.
I think that dude. I forget what his name is, but it's a little Samoan dude who remind me so much of Rocky Maivia that wrestles in NXT. Man, I can't. They got him dressed up and they present him just like Rocky Maivia. But I don't think he's part of that Samoan family either. Oh, maybe, I don't know.
He is. Like I've already said, my biggest fear right now is that Reigns is going to be champion. The Usos are going to have champions at the same time. Jax is going to get the title, and then they're going to make that guy win the Cruiserweight title. Like I feel it coming just because they're
small Samoan.
Yes.
Never seen that.
That dude.
Okay.
Yeah, that dude. What's his name? Maluta. That's his name. Maluta. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, like every
just
someone
seen a
I've
couple
ever
one
met
day.
has been like, like at least 240 pounds. All like huge guys. But all right.
I mean, he's
so,
like right there at 205. You know what I mean? Like
gotcha.
barely.
All right, so let's move on and step down. I'm sorry. Let's move on to what were you guys' highlights from this week's show?
How about Kevin Owens coming out there doing the U.S. Open Challenge, but for only the people from Dayton, and then AJ Styles?
That was hilarious. Like, where do you live? And that was kind of a weird way to bring American Alpha back, with only one wrestling, and I don't know, but I guess find a way to fit him in. And it's something you didn't see coming.
Was pretty funny in my opinion. Kevin Owens is a funny dude, man. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, but the weird thing to me was AJ Styles comes out, so why didn't he try to say he was from Dayton? And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why, because 90% of the time they announce him being from 90% of the time they announce him being from Gainesville, Georgia, except for when they're Atlanta, because then he's the guy from Atlanta, right? He's Atlanta's own, whenever they're in the Georgia Dome or whatever.
Right.
So they can't be from Dayton too. Now, come on now.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying for the humor part of it, because they did the same thing for Gable. I mean, I get you're trying to save the match, but what I'm saying, it did make sense to bring AJ out, and then he just seemed so enthusiastic about Gable taking the match.
Honestly,
I don't know.
Well, he said on Talking Smack that
like
Gable was a better liar than him.
Honestly, I feel that them bringing back American Alpha like that was a huge waste. I think they should have been saved so that they could come back for SummerSlam. I think the right person that should have came out was Dillinger, because I think Dillinger is from Ohio.
Or was he from Las Vegas, Nevada? I don't know. I can't. I know Miz and Ambrose, they from Ohio. I know they're from fact, but they don't have another.
They're from Cleveland. Yeah. Or no, I think Ambrose from Cincinnati. I think Ziggler's from Cleveland too, and Miz. Yeah, but
Ziggler could have came out.
But I mean, obviously, right? It's meant to be hokey, or even if that planet, like dude in the crowd or something,
That's actually what I thought was gonna happen. That's actually what I thought. I thought it was gonna be another Santino Marella moment or something like that. One of you Dayton losers come in here, you think you could beat me, and then he just comes out and takes his jacket out. I guess it's been kind of weird if he had his singlet on under clothes, but hey, we've seen weirder stuff on wrestling, right? So what else stuck out to you? So how about
Nakamura
Ziggler? Nakamura Ziggler gave a better match than they did at the pay-per-view, which this is becoming a trend on SmackDown now. Now with them making you pay for the Money in the Bank, give you a bad match, and then give it away for free, doing the same thing with Ziggler and Nakamura. The match, the match wasn't bad at Backlash, but it wasn't as good as this match was.
Yeah, I feel you there. And maybe they're just getting more familiar with each other. That might make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let's see what else happened on SmackDown this week. You had Jinder Mahal face Luke Harper. Baron Corbin comes out to taunt him. And normally that would cost somebody the match, but, Jinder still goes over on Luke. Looks like Luke's is growing more hair, if that was possible. I don't know. It's like a big braid or something going down the back. I don't know. It's very odd looking to me.
Except for that one little spot. Yeah, he growing it out, but that one little spot.
Yeah, right in the middle. Yeah.
I would love to see them put Luke Harper into that main title picture, man. Like, I think he's ready.
I agree, Big Q. I
agree. Is it time for a new look?
Man. Luke Harper, man, that dude impressed the crap out of me. I did not know he could wrestle like that, and he could talk actually too. He's good.
He can. And then when he came back this time, he came back in like really good. And they always talk about how Jinder came back looking. Look at Harper, how he came back. You know what I'm saying? Like he came back pretty jacked up too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it time for Harper to get a new look? Like he's not the Wyatt family. There's no more. They're not even the same brand anymore. Like, is it time for him to? I'm not saying just cut all your hair off and shave all your facial hair, but is it time for a new, cleaner look to, you know, and for more of a character, like without being part of the Wyatt family, I don't know what his motivation is. You know what I mean? Like, what's his character? What's his motivation without?
Right. He needs some
new Bray Wyatt
some new type of gimmick. I don't know about changing his look so much, but he definitely needed some kind of gimmick to give him some good face motivation. You know?
Yeah, it's time for him to define exactly who Luke Harper is.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if I'm him,
like you
I'm
said,
begging for a new look so I can get rid of this ridiculous beard. You know what I'm saying? But that's just
well,
me.
no, I wouldn't even say get rid of beard. Boy, like it's time to get rid of this greasy tank top that he got to wear every week.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is he's got to walk around with that beard and hair in real life. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I understand that on TV that's great, but what about the other 20 hours of the day? You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't. Who wants to look like that?
It was one thing that happened on SmackDown. It's one thing that happened on SmackDown I didn't quite understand. So on Sunday night, you know, the wicked finish went down with the ladies' Money in the Bank, and we get the tweet update from Daniel Bryan talking about it's going to be the first thing addressed on SmackDown Live. It took him throughout the whole entire show to do something, right? I don't quite understand that. You had 2 days to sit and think about this.
Yeah,
you got to build up the hype. You got to have something.
Yeah, the women were waiting outside his dressing room, and he still didn't have an answer. But
ridiculous. I mean, it make him look so stupid. You know what I mean? And then I don't understand, I love the fact that we don't have this heavy authority thing going on SmackDown, but it's either Shane wasn't even at the pay-per-view. Like, the fact that they didn't restart that match at that, I mean, that's a whole different thing. But anyway, like the authority that's there is still really not there. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're non-existent.
Right.
Well, that's where they try to make things a lot different because they know that people are tired of authority figures. So people on SmackDown was like, let's keep Bryan and Shane off of TV as much as we can. Of course, Daniel couldn't be there because he's taking care of his newborn. And apparently the reason Shane wasn't there was because he didn't feel like working on Father's Day. So he just wasn't there.
Well, hey. All right, so let's get to it. I know, Big Q, you want to talk about, I guess we call it finishes, non-finishes. You don't have a clear winner, clear loser, or
no. See, sometimes that's cool, and and a lot of times I'm waiting for the swerve.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm waiting for the swerve, but see, sometimes like this New Day stuff, like luckily on SmackDown they didn't get to walk out with like this, like when the champions say, you know what, I had enough, I'm done, bro, I'm done, and walk up the ramp. I can't stand that. I hate that.
That should be a verbal, like, I quit. That should be like a them giving up. That should, like, take it away.
I'll say this. Yeah, I like it if like, your character is this slimy guy like The Miz. Like, The Miz could do that, and it seems to make sense, right? Because he doesn't come across as this intimidating, overly physical guy. But for the Usos to do that, doesn't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Their characters now are, gangbangerish. You know what I mean? They're talking about taking you to the Uso penitentiary. So it doesn't make sense for them to do that. But The Miz, it makes sense if he did something like that because this guy throws his wife in front of him to block a punch, and that kind of thing. So to me, it just depends on the character. And yeah, with the Usos, it just didn't seem to – it just doesn't match.
And then what about when you have this 50-50 booking, but then they change their mind at the end? So you had that weird stuff with Alicia Fox a couple weeks ago. And then, and so I forget what it was this time, but during the third rubber match, when you're trying to get a definite winner, then that's when you get a double count out or a double DQ.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. That can be frustrating, to say the least. Especially when it's with people like Alicia Fox or somebody like that, where you want to see something happen to take off into something, and then you just get poo-pooed on, and so okay, now this is gonna go nowhere, and it's, we're starting to get excited about where this character might be going, and now
something like that happened with the Hardys and Sheamus and them a while back, and I was like, wow, why are we doing this? Like, you had one good match. the heels won. You had another good match. The faces won. Now you're having a third match, and nobody wins.
Well, you need that third rubber match.
Or fourth?
Like they need that last match for Great Balls of Fire because the Hardys won, but it's not like they really beat Sheamus and Cesaro. It's like it was a 14 ladder match. So of course,
I think, with the Hardys, they need to take some sort of losing streak for a while, and then eventually, I think, join the Wyatt family or reform the Wyatt family or something.
Oh no, that's definitely not going to happen.
No, we're not going to do that.
No. They're right now what they're doing with the Hardys. They're biding their time, and so they can get their rights to the broken gimmick.
That's exactly
and
what
the moment that they get the broken gimmick, Jeff and Matt are separating. Matt is going to stay on Raw, and he's going to be the whole broken thing.
Yep.
And Jeff is going to SmackDown
because
they can make tons of money off of both of them.
Yep.
Everyone loves broken Matt. Everyone loves
Jeff.
I
mean, you're talking about legal litigate. I mean, that could literally be years.
Well, actually, it's
they're close. They're
real close. Like the bad guys are actually realizing that the longer they sit on this, the less money they're gonna make out of it. So look, I think something will get done pretty quickly. I think by the time we get into, I don't know if we're gonna be soon as like SummerSlam, but by the time we get to WrestleMania time, I think we'll have something.
I will say this, I was excited to see the Hardy Boys back. I mean, I wasn't like super jacked, but seeing Matt in the ring,
bipolar Matt.
Well, seeing Matt in the ring gives me hope that I could be a pro wrestler. We look like we're in about the same shape.
Oh my God! That's the whole reason why he went in and created that broken gimmick anyway, because he knew he wasn't. He was kind of like his body was kind of going. He getting old. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
and Jeff can barely still do what he do, but he still got a little gas left in the tank. But he gonna go to SmackDown and he gonna pick up right where he left off, and it's gonna be great.
At least Jeff had enough sense to let me just wear a shirt that covers pretty much my whole body, so I can at least look halfway decent. Matt.
So I was about to say Jeff was still in some shape.
Just the way that Matt runs the ropes, you know what I mean? Like that looks like how I think I would run the ropes right now. You know what I mean? That's right. But anyway, I forgot one of the crucial things we're supposed to do on the show. So let's back up. First off, let's start with Rablo. I know you got the podcast and everything, so why don't you tell us what you got going on, where people can find it, and where they can interact with you.
Rablo's World podcast starting. I did a little episode today, just a little tester to see how everything is. Unfortunately, still waiting on a few equipment to come through Amazon. Thought it would be here by now, but it was a hold up. But that's coming very soon and very shortly. Some more comedy shows, of course, coming out, more comedy sketches. Of course, you guys know you can come join the sports family on Twitter at Richard J. Atkins. 10,000 followers and counting. This time we're going in strong. I'm going back to the old ways. I think I'm done with my trolling days. I'm talking straight sports, straight wrestling. Of course, doing my comedy sketches still. We're going to blow this thing up. We're going to make this thing bigger and better and beautiful than ever. And you guys already know.
All right. So Big Q, man, what you got going on? I know you're preparing for the NFL season. You probably got the best YouTube show on, best NFL show on YouTube is what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Live NFL show on YouTube. Best live NFL show on YouTube. Yeah, 3 weeks, man. 3 weeks. Me, my partners, Glass and Gateway Sports, my brother JB. We're going to be hooking up doing our divisional breakdowns 8 weeks leading up until week 1 of the NFL. Live show, plenty of interaction. Twitter interaction. Follow me on Twitter at TeamBoyTV. We'll be broadcasting live to YouTube, to Facebook Live, to Periscope. So we're going to be doing that live and trying to get as much interaction as we possibly can. Can't wait. We got 3 weeks. It'll be the week of the July 4th. So it'll actually be that Wednesday on the 5th. And that'll be our debut show. And we'll be glad to get back together and do it, man. We've been kind of chomping at the bit, man, especially with the stuff that happened today. With so much to talk about, and to have to sit here and be silent for another couple of weeks is killing us, but we're close. We gotta get ready to open it right back up. So
July 5th.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
look for that. Okay. All right. I'll definitely be tuned in. I love the show. and Jeff, man. So why don't you tell us what you got going on? Where can people find you, brother?
People can find me on Instagram at Jeff_XLR8. I haven't started doing much yet. I might start doing a few things with Robo here, and we'll see where that goes. All
right. So, I'm just waiting on Roblo to reach out to me to guest star in some of these comedy sketches. So just drop that in there, Roblo. So, where I'm right down the road, hit me up. But anyway, you can hit me up at Kane_Ice. Go to KaneIce.com. You'll actually be able to see this show. Check out my sports show that I do with my homeboy Kane out of Florida. So we appreciate all you guys tuning in. Help us keep growing. Tell your friends about us. Tweet at us. Use the hashtag CYTD. Can you dig that? Sorry, I think I got that wrong. CYDT. All right. So, it's late. Sorry. But anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate you guys joining us. Great wrestling talk. As usual, every week, we're going to keep bringing this to you. And, eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm live tweeting during wrestling. But I'm so into it, it's hard for me to stay on Twitter when I'm doing that. But I gotta stay disciplined. All right. So you guys take care, and we'll be back next week.
Peace.
I'm sorry, I was waiting on my music. It didn't come on. So, all right, I'm just going to end now. Thanks, everybody.
Once upon a time, there was a new crossover that refused to play by the rules. It flipped the script and made all the others look like fools. Featuring styling that's sexier by far and handles like a rock star. Introducing the first ever Toyota CHR.
Enjoy agile handling in the body of a seductive crossover that comes with standard 18-inch alloy wheels. The first ever Toyota CHR. The perfect ride to spin your own tail. Toyota. Let's go places.
Height is how we measure our favorite things, like buildings and basketball players. And now, subs. Arby's new meat stacked subs feature meat topped with other meats that complement that first meat. Can you continue measuring subs by length? Of course you can. You can also visit the world's longest building, wherever that is. Arby's, we have the meats.